so much for joining us on our Rural Realities, the understanding the CTE landscape as it pertains to smaller rural districts. And today we have Christine Walker with us, who is the CTE director from Mexia, Texas. And we're so excited, Christine, thank you for coming and actually visiting us in Houston, Texas, and kind of giving us a look into the landscape of how it is to work with CTE on the rural district side.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for asking me.
Absolutely. So Christine actually is on fall break and coming back to Houston, Texas. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
My journey to get to Mexia.
Yes.
So this is my 21st year in education. I started out as a business and marketing teacher and spent, 14 years in the classroom. So I went from a rural district, Sealy ISD, and then I went to a suburban district, Katy ISD, and then I came to Spring Branch ISD. And then with all of the growth that's been going on in Spring Branch and the commitment that the district has made to career and technical education, I got the opportunity to move into an administrative job as a program manager. So that's where I spent 3 years supporting teachers, specifically in the Arts AV cluster for a little while, in the business cluster, the IT cluster, the STEM cluster. So did an amazing amount of work with teachers, and there's just been so much change to CTE in the last 4 years. It's almost hard to keep up with. And so anyway, the opportunity presented itself, and I applied for and was hired as the CTE director for Mexia ISD, which is a small rural district in Central Texas, has about 1,800 students. They've got just one middle school, one junior high, an intermediate school, a elementary school, and then what they call a developmental center, which is kind of, it's a special situation. It's a state school where students are placed for specific reasons, not necessarily by the district, but by actually the state of Texas.
Okay, I see. So quite a big difference from the Katy ISDs and the Spring Branch ISDs?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, it's a huge difference going from 2 6A school districts and now I'm in a 3A school district. But ironically, I feel like I've gotten back to my roots because when I started education, I was in Sealy where they had one high school, one junior high, one intermediate, one elementary school. So I've kind of gone full circle and there I was just a teacher. Now I have a completely different lens looking at it.
Yeah, I mean, and at the end of the day, I mean, education is education, right?
Absolutely.
You have some unique challenges, you have, some unique situations, but otherwise, at the end of the day, you're there for the students.
That's exactly right.
So, well, great, and congratulations on being the CTE director. We're really super excited to have you with us because we're really trying to understand. I mean, living in Houston, Texas, again, we're exposed to the big districts. We know full well how HISDs, Spring Branch ISD, Katy, they have their own unique challenges and how they're working through some of these. But we really wanted to start getting an insight into what are some of the challenges that you face, and especially on the CTE side, since that's the thing that's so close to me and at Braintree. But we really want to understand, what are some of the challenges that you face when you're working with programs and bringing those programs to the students in the district?
Yeah, so it's definitely different. You go from being in the 4th largest city in the United States to a town that has less than 6,000 people in it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, so millions to thousands. And so I'm impressed at the commitment that the superintendent and the school board has to growing CTE because Mexia High School has 533 students, and yet I have 11 CTE teachers, and we offer 6 full programs of study, which I think is impressive for a small district that is 60% lower socioeconomic and 79% minority, I believe is the statistic.
Okay.
So just to be able to bring those opportunities, the commitment to that. But yeah, we definitely have challenges, and I can even speak directly to our health science program. So in prior years, the district was busing students from Mejia to Waco, which is about an hour and 15-minute drive to Waco ISD, because Waco ISD has different specialized campuses, and one of them they have like a health science, I guess maybe for lack of a better explanation, almost like a career center all in of itself. So the district was busing students to there if they wanted to follow the health science pathway.
Okay.
And the challenge with that is it was a 2-year commitment. The students had to have for their junior and senior year, and they had to give up half of their school day because they had to account for traveling there, attending classes, going through the specialty programs, and then coming back. And so that limited how many kids could actually participate, because if they wanted to do that, there were other things they couldn't do. They couldn't be in football, or they couldn't be a cheerleader. They couldn't do other sports because they didn't have the opportunity, because it was such a large time commitment to be able to go to another district. So the year before I got to Mejia, the superintendent wanted to create the district's own health science program.
Okay.
So we hired a health science teacher. She was a nurse. We brought her in. Miss Carol is great. She's very committed to the cause. And so what we found is we had where only 18 students even had the opportunity to be able to go to Waco ISD for this. We have now made it where we're going to have 20, 25 students that have the ability to really complete the whole program. And that number is growing, because whereas in the past students were just getting 2 years worth of health science courses, we now have a full sequence in place where they can go through, they can be completers, but they're also getting some clinical rotation opportunities.
Really?
Now that being said, the challenge that comes into that is when you're in Waco, which is a much larger city, they have a much larger network of medical facilities.
Okay.
So it's very easy to accommodate students to be able to go in and coordinate rotations. For us, it's much more challenging because we only have, Mejia has a single hospital. It's a very small hospital, and in any given school year, they can only accommodate 8 students to be able to come into clinical rotations, where they're moving through departments and they're observing and they're doing different things. You take that from when I came from in Spring Branch, where our health science students, when they get to their junior year, and there's 180 of them, Memorial Hermann Network can accommodate all of them.
180 versus 8.
Yes.
Okay. That's quite a stark difference.
It is. It is a huge difference, and I'm thrilled that we have a hospital that can accommodate them, but we've also maxed the number. Well, this school year, I have 12 students that are in their final year and are in their practicum course for the clinicals. So then it's been a little bit of a logistics to try to figure out, okay, where else can we place them? There's an urgent care facility who wants to work with us, but they can only accommodate 2 students. We have a couple of nursing homes that want to work with us, but they can only accommodate maybe 1 or 2. So the challenge then rises is where you want to grow a program. I only have so much capacity in the community to be able to place these students so that they can be getting these real world experiences on site facilities.
Absolutely. I mean, that totally brings the challenge of working within a smaller community with, of course, less opportunities for real world connection. I mean, that's a huge problem. So I guess that is one of the things that I would really like to explore. Are there any opportunities? I mean, health science is one of the programs that you've just highlighted, but are there any opportunities for any type of technology solutions that can help facilitate this?
I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I feel like health science is almost an anomaly because whereas I know you can do virtual type settings, I feel like for a health science program, those kids really need to be in a hospital, in a doctor's office.
Touching and
feeling and actually, even if it's just getting the opportunity to take vitals or taking patient history, having that face-to-face interaction, because so much of our world is screen time, and yet at the end of the day, medical care is not screen time.
Right. That's the human touch that you need.
That's the human touch. Now, that being said, there are other programs of study that maybe that would be an option. So, for example, we have a marketing and sales program of study where the students are taking 4 years worth of various business classes. It would be great to partner up with maybe some businesses, and even if they're in Houston virtually, where some kind of mentoring, some kind of opportunity or connection exists, because we don't have a lot of business in Mexia.
Okay.
It's a small community. A lot of, and don't get me wrong, we have businesses.
Right.
But when you look at the number of businesses, it's
exactly. And the other thing is, you want to be able to expose the students to different types.
Exactly.
That's the key.
Yes.
So and it does. I mean, we have worked with many interns at different over the years we've had quite a few interns, but it takes somebody to manage the interns, help them, because they're there to mentor, not just to be a warm body, right?
Exactly. And the kid, yes, exactly. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the kids need to get something out of it.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, they're teenagers. They're teenagers, and if they're not really getting something out of it,
exactly,
they're going to lose interest. It's not going to be what ideally it was meant for.
Absolutely.
The health science student walks in, and that day the rotation that they're on is the operating room, and they get to stand behind the glass.
Oh wow!
And surgery. That's pretty impactful.
Exactly. That's the aha moment that you're looking for. And you're right. I mean, engagement is key with students, especially with teenagers. So if they are just being fed some basic task, file or just go ahead and enter numbers on a spreadsheet, how long is that going to interest them, and what are they exactly gaining out of it?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And so one of the things that Navarro College, which is a community college, actually has a satellite campus in Mexia, Texas.
Okay.
And I just had a meeting with them just a couple weeks ago, because they, last year they started it, so it's, a work in progress, how those things go. But they call it their Career Launch Academy.
Okay.
And so what they want to identify is 15 to 20 kids that are juniors that don't necessarily know what's next. They don't know what's next, but they want to create this academy that involves 4 experiences, where 3 experiences are industry-based. So say I think this year we're looking at, one is going to be health science, one is going to be cybersecurity, and then the other one is going to be industrial welding.
Okay.
And then the Navarro College is going to partner with local businesses or local businesses in that industry, so that the kids can go to the business. We're going to field trip them to the business where they can actually see it all in action. Later on in the afternoon, be able to have opportunity to have discussion with people from those businesses. And then with Navarro College, because it pairs up with programs they offer. And then the
wonderful.
the 4th experience will actually take them to Corsicana, which is their main campus, so they can actually see the welding facilities, the nursing program that's there, the cybersecurity and the IT labs that are there, so they can have that wow factor on, hey, there really is something for me. I can get, some of my basics out of the way at the satellite campus, but then it's only a 30-minute drive from Mexia to the main campus of our college.
Well, that sounds perfect, because again, touching back on, students need to be able to see what's in it for me, and how this can be engaging. If I'm engaging in this experience, I'm able to maybe perhaps pack on some additional skills or soft skills, be able to add that to what I'm already studying, and I can actually land this degree or this career eventually. So building that picture is key. So that I'm loving this. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and that's something that's been very close to my heart is helping students, from an early age being able to actually see that path or where it leads to. But again, what it sounds like is that partnerships are key. Whether it's with industry partners or other educational institutions or other providers of technology and things like that. But the key is to be able to build those partnerships and use those to catapult the students into the world of CTE.
Yes, absolutely. And sometimes in a rural community, you want students to be able to see outside of that community. What's the world outside, and what is there that I could pursue? Because I think sometimes they think there's nothing else outside of the small community that they live. And there's really some bigger towns a very short distance away. I mean, we have, there's some people that work in Mahia that come from Waco, or people that live in Mahia and go to Waco and work. And it's just opening that up so students can see the possibilities.
Well, this has been super exciting. And I just want to kind of leave you with one question. What support can organizations like us provide to a district like yours in order to help build some of those, either partnerships or those engagement opportunities? How can we help? Because we want to make sure that not only the big cities and the big districts are taking advantage of either what we have to offer or what connections we may be able to provide to other organizations and things like that. Is there something that we can do to help Mahia, Texas achieve those dreams?
I think anything that's an authentic experience.
Okay.
Even for example, my marketing and sales teacher, she has got access to a printer that can create t-shirts, and our idea is to start some kind of store that the students are running. But for them to have the opportunity where they have someone in the business world that they're mentoring with that can guide them, that can answer questions, that can help them with some things they're struggling with, or even give them a project. Here is something we want you to do for us, that then when they're not connecting with that business, the teacher has something where she's building lessons and engaging activities where the kids are doing something that then they're going to turn back and present. Here's our finished project, or here's stage one of where we at. Are we moving in the right direction of what you're looking for?
Okay.
Because I think it's so much more important to have something that has meat to it, that the students can dig into and have a product that they're creating, whatever that product may be, under the guidance of a business partner, and not just somebody who wants to come in, piped in virtually, and just talk to the students.
Again, it's all about the engagement.
It is. And that's where companies like you can really, because I think there's a lot of companies out there, they want to be involved in the community. They want to be involved in their school district. I know Spring Branch has people all the time, hey, we want to be involved. What can we do? What can we help with? But then I think sometimes it stalls out and they don't, that true getting the teacher and the partner to say, okay, what kind of projects can my kids do that they can have ownership of, that I can guide, that we can present, and that you can mentor them through?
I love that. I think, again, coming, with a purpose and an end goal in mind. That's the key, right? So is it okay if we share your contact information if there are organizations and industry partners out there?
Yes, I would love it.
And be able to connect directly with Christine and see if there are some of these opportunities that can be offered by all the wonderful people out there.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, I'd like to go ahead and at least mention all the programs of study we offer.
I would love to hear that,
okay,
yes.
So we have digital communications, which really is a fancy word for video production.
Okay.
So that's an exciting one because in the third year of that, we took a classroom and we converted it to a broadcast studio.
Okay.
And so the students are actually getting that kind of experience. We would love some kind of partner with that to help guide that, whether it's, I don't even know, I'm at a loss for words, but I feel like there's so much opportunity there. We have our culinary program,
Okay.
where the third year students for that, we have what we call our Black Cat Cafe. You know.
Love the name.
So, well, we are Mahia, Texas, with the Black Cats.
Okay.
So we have our Black Cat News. We have our Black Cat Cafe.
Okay.
We're gonna have, and so we've got the Arts AV, we've got the culinary, we have our health science.
Okay.
We have our business, our marketing. We have our welding program, and that was also a program that we were busing kids to Waco ISD for. And last year actually made the purchase, bought all the equipment, and now the kids are completing that program of study, working on their AWS 1.1 and their AWS D9.1 certification.
Okay.
So we've got the welding. Let's see, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. We got Arts AV, we have culinary, we have health science, we have welding, we have the marketing and sales. Oh yeah, and we have our plant science. And then we have our animal science. And so we have a greenhouse in our district. Needs a little bit of love, but we're going to get it some love. And so there's just some really cool stuff we've got, and just to be able to partner up with people.
I'm just
for those
impressed.
programs.
Yeah, I'm just impressed with only 533 students in high school, and you just mentioned like 7 different programs right there. That's quite an undertaking.
Yeah.
So kudos to Mahia, Texas, and the administrators there and teachers that are doing the heavy lifting and putting this together.
Absolutely. Yes, they are committed. They
That's
really are.
amazing.
It's very impressive.
And it's so important. I mean, you guys are building the future leaders,
Absolutely.
so it is absolutely important. And I urge everybody that is out there to think about ways that they can partner with school districts like Mahia, Texas, or others around them, to be able to offer these opportunities for students to really see how their skills can apply to the real world.
Absolutely.
I think that's the key that Christine has just pointed out.
It is.
So. Thank you, Christine.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your time, and thank you for coming down.
You're welcome. This was fun. Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Take care. All right. Let's see how we can shut this down.